right, coming to sing with us?
And once in a while I'll get drunk and play it.
How's that going?
Every few songs I get a good note. We did with a lot of bands here. We did a Hallelujah.
And then when you were done, they said,
No, I actually got some almost sounds good.
oh, that's like almost a compliment.
I have other talents in music, unfortunately, because I'm public, and I'll sing or dance and play anything. But
Judaism is about joy. It's not about right.
at least unless you're singing. Then we expect you to also rejoice in dance.
I mean, the rabbis are doing that. She needs her glasses. She's going to run out.
Are they reading glasses? Yes. Are they prescription for you or just reading glasses? I can get you something.
You don't have to look at it.
You know, it's always like now it's 2 times.
Test. There we go.
What's up?
I'll give you a card. There's nothing really exciting. I'm happy to take you back there.
Don't sell yourself. Yeah, that's right.
Put this on.
Yeah, just like put it over your. There you go. Do you want to just jump right in?
As soon as,
Yeah,
yeah, man. This,
I think it's a couple of cedar ring. That probably will.
oh, that might help.
Are you gonna play like a two-measure, intro up front?
I think I'm gonna let Kelly do that. Richard do that. Kelly.
All right, we'll start 128.
Yeah,
Yeah,
let's
go
do
for
it.
it.
הנה מה טוב ומה נעים שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים שבת אחים גם יחד. How good it is,
How good it is.
how sweet it is,
How sweet it is.
to be together on this day. How good it is,
How good it is.
how sweet it is,
How sweet it is.
to be together on this day. Hey, הנה מה טוב ומה נעים שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים שבת אחים גם יחד. שבת אחים גם יחד. Shabbat Shalom, everybody.
Shabbat Shalom. How good it is for us to be together. I missed you all last week. Well, some of you I was with in Atlanta and Alabama. I'll talk a bit about that later, doing some great work down there. But it is great to be back up here on our Bema, and it's great to be here with a new friend of mine as well, Cantor Adam Davis, who's visiting us from the great state of New York. And so I look forward to us getting to know Cantor Davis tonight and throughout this weekend. And we are thrilled and honored that you are here, Cantor, and considering our congregation along with your partner Amanda as your next home here in Salt Lake City, Utah. I hope you feel as wonderfully about this community as they make me feel every day that I'm here. Almost every day that I'm here. Once in a while you guys get a little crabby, but I do too. Overall, we get a lot of good days together, and this is a phenomenal community. And we are going to, whenever I'm here at Kolami, the great thing, Cantor, that you should know about our community is that most of us are actually not from Utah originally. Raise your hand if you are not from Utah originally. That, I would say, is most of us. And so we kind of, Noah, you're not from Utah originally. That's news to me. Who's the kid at your bris then? I don't know. But anyways, but most of us are not from here originally, and we kind of become each other's Jewish family, each other's Jewish friends, where we have Seder together, where we have Rosh Hashanah dinner together, where we go to each other's Hanukkah parties. And that whole feeling that we create here is one of friendship, which is ultimately what we are doing in this service as well. So I'd like to invite you with that idea of friendship and delight of Shabbat. Turn to page 128 in the middle for Yedid Nefesh.
Yedid Nefesh Av HaRachaman Meshoch Avdecha El Retzonecha Yarutz Avdecha Kemo Ayal Ishtachaveh El Mol Hadarecha Yedid Nefesh Av HaRachaman Meshoch Avdecha El Retzonecha Ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 la. What we were just doing in that moment, singing what we call a nigun, a wordless melody. That can be the most spiritual form of prayer. In fact, the Hasidim teach that to reach the height of spirituality in song, one must strip away all words. And so I want to invite you tonight, if anything is unfamiliar, whether the melody or the words themselves, just sing Lai Lai Lai. You can do that.
We're going to turn now to page 130, I believe, for Psalm 95, L'chu Neranana.
And we'll jump quickly into Psalm 96 on the opposite page. L'chu Neranana l'Adonai Naria Letzor Yishenu Lai 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 שירו לאדוני כל הארץ, שירו לאדוני ברכו שמו, פסלו מיום ליום ישועתו, ספרו בגויים כבודו, בכל העמים נפלאותיו, כי גדול אדוני, ובכולם מאוד, נורא הוא על כל אלוהים, לי לי לי, כי כל אלוהי עמים אלילים, אדוני שמיים עשה, טוב והדר לפניו, עוז ותפארת בקדשו, לה 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 לה, יספרו השמיים, יספרו השמיים, יספרו השמיים, ותגל הארץ, ירם הים, ירם הים, ירם הים ומלוא, ירם הים, ירם הים, ירם הים ומלוא. יעלו שרה וכל אשר בו, אז ירננו כל הצייר, לפני ארוני קיווה לשפוט הארץ, ישפוט תבל בצדק, וימים באמונתו.
We are going to jump now to Psalm 98, which is on page 133.
133. Let's do Psalm 132 instead.
You know what? I actually like that one better.
Page 132.
Let's
Psalm
do that.
97.
I wasn't going to say anything. I was like, Psalm 98. Okay, it's in my top 90, 150 Psalms, but
Right.
Psalm 97. Wow.
That's
Let's
a
do
good
that. 132.
Zaor zaroa la tzadik u'yishvei lev simcha. With the bottom paragraph. Or zaroa la tzadik u'yishvei lev simcha. Simchu tzadikim b'Adonai, b'Adonai, v'hodu l'secher kodesho, l'secher kodesho. Or zarua, or zarua la tzadik u'yishvei lev simcha.
Turn to page 135. Adonai enthroned on cherubim is sovereign. People tremble. The earth quakes. Adonai is great in Zion and exalted above all peoples. They praise your name as great and awesome. God is holy, mighty ruler who loves justice. It was you who established equity, you who worked righteous judgment in Jacob. Exalt Adonai our God and bow down to God's footstool, for God is holy. Let's read together at the bottom of the page. Exalt Adonai our God and bow towards God's holy hill, for Adonai our God is holy. We're going to turn to 136.
Adonai Kavod va'oz Ay, ay, ay Shtavu l'Adonai Kevod Shemo Ishtahavu l'Adonai Behadar Kodesh Kol Adonai Al Hamayim El HaKavod Iri Derirai Rai Rai Ay 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 Rai 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 Ay Rai 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 At the bottom of page 137 Ay Rai Rai Adonai Oz Le'amo Yiten Adonai Evarech Et Amo V'Shalom Adonai Oz Le'amo Yiten Adonai Evarech Et Amo V'Shalom Let me hear you now Ay, lai, lai, ay, lai Ay, lai, lai, lai Ay, lai, lai, ay, lai Did-it-ay, ay, ay, ay Ay, ay, ay Alay, lalay, lay Alay, alay, lalay Alay, lay, lay Alay, lalay Alay, lalay, lay Alay, lalay, lalay Ay, lalay, lay Alay, lalay, lay Did-it-ay, lay, lay Ay, lalay Ay, lay, lay, lay Ay, lay, 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 lay Did-it-ay, lay, ay,
We are going to turn now to Lechad Odi on page 138. And we'll do verses 1, 2, 5, and 9.
Since we talked about Mayim Rabim, great waters,
Absolutely.
been advised that
Drink heavily
up here you need to drink more water.
Yeah, altitude-
Great waters, and I'm finding that right now. I'm experiencing.
People wondered why it took Moshe Rabbeinu 40 days to go up and down, Mount Sinai. Altitude sickness. It's
Altitude, that's
real. It's in the Midrash, I think, somewhere. Page 138.
Lechad Odi Likrat Kala Panei Shabbat Nekabela La 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 Lechad Odi Likrat Kala Penei Shabbat Nekabela Lechad Odi Likrat Kala Penei Shabbat nekabela Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad Hishemiyanu elam yochad Adonai echad u'shemo echad L'shemu tiferet v'litila Lechad Odi Likrat Kala Penei Shabbat Nekabela Lechad Odi Likrat Kala Penei Shabbat Nekabela Likrat Shabbat Lechu v'nelcha Ki mekor ha-beracha Merosh mikedem nesucha Sof ma'aseh b'machshavat tchila Lechad Odi Likrat Kala פני שבת נקבלה לך דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה התעוררי התעוררי כי באורך קומי אורי 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 שיר דברי כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה לך דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה לך דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה.
We are going to rise and face the entrance to greet Shabbat.
בואי ושלום עטרת בעלה גם בשמחה ובצהלה תוך אמוני המסגולה בואי חלה לך דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה לך דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה.
Well, now that we've greeted Shabbat, let's take a moment and greet one another. Introduce yourself to somebody, wish somebody Shabbat Shalom, and when you hear the music playing, we will come back as a community.
Shabbat Shalom. Is it a fist bump? Boom. Oh, wait, we missed. Boom. Shabbat Shalom. Is it a fist bump? Hi, I'm Adam. Elian, nice to meet you. Claire, nice to meet you. Hello. Wow, okay. Well, Rome wasn't built in a day. Yeah, we're in that. We're gonna cut some stuff. Let's do that. Yeah, let's do something. Give me a second. Let me think what I want to, because I do want to show folks that we're working together a little bit. Oh, the good feels? Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, it's not a race.
No. It's going well.
What we can do. Do they know that? Shalom Aleichem Malachi? They know that one?
Yeah. Do you want to just jump right into that? Then after that we can do candles.
Yeah, well, we'll do the, we're gonna, because you're gonna read Mari Varavim, right?
Yeah. So how about we do Shalom Aleichem? Just go right in Shalom Aleichem.
Yep.
And then Hatzah Kaddish, candle lighting.
Yeah.
Then
Sounds like a plan. Yeah, that's, yeah, because
otherwise, like I said, they're I can tell they're not really feeling it right now, and I don't want the comments to be afterwards like, oh, this was
Too long, yeah. Well, also, Tempe are...
Yeah.
let me just fill these guys in.
Yeah, sounds good.
So, yeah. So we're going to go right into Shalom Aleichem. Okay, about Shalom Aleichem, Malachi Ashar, about that. Malachi Elyo, Mimele.
He's working hard. Working hard to see.
I'll start it. And then during Am I Awake? Right? Okay. Right, we're going to do candle lighting first, but just if you can continue underscoring after we do it, after I'm awake. Just continue Am I Awake? For underscore it like just like pedal, piano. And I'll give you the eyeball. Because I'm gonna jump in and sing with you. Yeah. Okay? It's always an adventure with me. Okay.
All right, just go right into Shalom Aleichem.
right, now that you've met the angels in your life, let's greet them in song.
142.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachi Asharet, Malachi Elyon, Mimelech, Malachi Amlachim, Kadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem, Malachi Asharet, Malachi Elyon, Mimelech, Malachi Amlachim, Kadosh Baruch Hu. Ay, ay, ay. Shalom Aleichem, Malachi Asharet, Malachi Elyon, Mimelech, Malachi Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem Shalom, Malachi Shalom, Malachi Elyon, Mimelech, Malachi Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem Shalom, Malachi Shalom, Malachi Elyon, Mimelech, Malachi Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem Shalom, Malachi Shalom, Malachi Elyon, Mimelech, Malachi Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu Nir Shalom, Malachi Shalom, Malachi Elyon, Mimelech, Malachi Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom, Malachi Shalom, Malachi Elyon, Mimelech, Malachi Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Ayat Baruch Hu Shalom, Malachi Shalom, Malachi Elyon, Mimelech, Malachi Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom, Malachi Shalom, Malachi Elyon, Mimelech, Malachi Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom, Malachi Shalom, Malachi Elyon, Mimelech, Malachi Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Ay, 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 Tzidkem, Shalom, Malachi Shalom, Malachi Elyon, Mimelech, Malachi Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
We are going to turn to the Hatzi Kaddish.
Page 144. Yitkadal v'yikadash shemei Rabbah.
Amen.
Ve'alma livrach yotei ve'amlich malchutei. B'chayechon uvyomechon uchayedecho ben Yisrael. Bagala, bagala, uvizman kariv v'imru.
Amen.
Yehi shmei Rabbah mevorach, le'olam olam me'almaya, yitbarach, yitbarach v'yishtabach, yitbar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalav shmei dekudsha, brichu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, damiran be'alma v'imru.
Amen. Cantor, I heard you got to interact with our staff today a good bit. I was at a conference over at the university, so I wasn't a part of that, but I heard wonderful things. Lana was there, right? And Lana just raved on and on and on and on in typical Lana fashion, how great she thought you were, and that's an inside staff joke. But anyways, I
heard that actually Lana's going to give the Devar Torah tonight.
Actually, you heard that. Oh, you ruined the surprise. I don't know if Lana knows yet. You're in on the joke. Fantastic. But also, though, as much as our staff seemed to enjoy you, they really enjoyed your partner Amanda a lot.
She's the star of the show. Yes.
Yeah, so I know that we are debating whether this weekend to offer you position or not. The staff has already told me that we're taking Amanda for sure.
Yeah, therefore Amanda's going to give the Devar Torah.
Exactly. Well, I will ask Amanda though. Amanda, would you be so kind and gracious to help us light our Shabbat candles as we welcome you to our community this weekend? I'll let you light, and how about you lead us in the bracha here? Welcome, Amanda. Thrilled to have you. We gave you trick candles. There you go.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Asher kideshanu b'mitzvotav V'tzivanu להדליק נר של שבת.
Thank you. We're going to turn to our call to worship the Baruch Hu, page 146. I'll invite you to please rise in body or spirit.
Lai 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 la la lai 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 ya la lai 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 la la lai 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 ya la lai 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 la la lai lai lai. Am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Are you awake? Am I prepared? Barecho et Adonai Amevorach. Baruch Adonai Amevorach Le'olam va'ed Le'olam va'ed Yala lai 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 Yala lai lai lai.
You may be seated. We read together on page 149 at the bottom. This is an hour of change. Within it we stand uncertain on the border of light. Shall we draw back or cross over? Where shall our hearts turn? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? This is the hour of change, and within it we stand quietly on the border of light. What lies before us? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over?
Baruch atah Adonai Hamariv Aravi.
Going to go into page 150. A little reminder today, the conference I was at was the One Kind Act conference, and it was a conference to get all Utahns to do something kind for one another and to make people feel loved. What I talked about, I was one of the speakers, was about how we need to remember that God imbued each and every one of us with holiness and godliness. It says so, right in the Torah. And so no matter, and what our job as Jews is not only to see that holiness in others, but to make them feel it too, to make them feel special and holy. And Ava Olam talks a little bit about that, about how God is there to love each and every one of us and how we all have that holiness in us and are worthy of love. 150.
Ahavat olam Beit Yisrael אהבת, עמך אהבת. תורה ומצוות, חוקים ומשפטים, אותנו לימדת, אותנו לימדת. על כן אדוני אלוהינו בשוכבנו ובקומנו נשיח בחוקיך, ונשמח בדברי תורתך ומצוותיך לעולם ועד, כי הם חיינו ויורך ימינו, ובהם נגה יומם ולילה, נגה יומם ולילה. ואהבתך אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים. ברוך אתה אדוני אוהב עמו ישראל. שמע ישראל אדוני אלוהינו אדוני אחד. ברוך שם כבוד מלכותו לעולם ועד.
154.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם להיות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם אלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם אמת.
Last week, like I said, I was in Atlanta, Alabama. A couple of you were with me, and that was such an amazing trip. And one of the reasons why it was so amazing was seeing how people walked together to make change in our country. We had the great pleasure of meeting one of the members of the Little Rock Nine. And when I talked to her, something I said was, thank you, ma'am. Thank you for changing our country. She looked at me and said, changing our country? Psh, I changed the world. I was like, you did. You did. And what we saw, though, in the South was that so many people were inspired by our Micha Mocha story. How it wasn't, maybe Moses was one person who went to Egypt to free people, but the entire nation of Israel walked out together, hand in hand. And we see as well, yes, we know Dr. Martin Luther King and leaders like that, but we saw and we learned how in Selma, people walked hand in hand, thousands of people, across the Edmund Pettus Bridge and from Selma to Montgomery in order to change the world. And that change only came after hundreds of years of injustice, when we were able to join hands and walk together. With that, let's sing the Micha Mocha, page 158, and join together in making our world a freer place.
Who is like you, Adonai? Who is like you, Adonai? La 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la. La 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha nehedar b'kodesh, nora tehilot osef eleh, nora tehilot. Osef eleh. Who is like you, Adonai? Who is like you, Adonai? Malchutecha ra'u vanecha bokei hayam lifnei Moshe u'Miriam. Ze Eli anu ve'amru, Ze Eli anu ve'amru. Adonai yimlo le'olam va'ed. V'ne'emar ki fada Adonai et Yaakov ug'oalo miyad chazak mimenu. Baruch ata Adonai gal Yisrael.
Amen. We're going to turn to page 162 verse for Vishamru.
V'shameru v'nei Yisrael et hashabat la'asor et hashabat ledorotam berit olam. V'shameru v'nei Yisrael et hashabat la'asor et hashabat ledorotam berit olam. Beini uven bnei Yisrael, Beini uven bnei Yisrael, Oti le'olam, Oti le'olam. V'shameru bnei Yisrael et hashabat la'asor et hashabat ledorotam berit olam. Ki sheshet yamim, ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai et hashamayim ve'et haaretz. V'shameru b'nei Yisrael et hashabat la'asor et hashabat ledorotam berit olam. Uvayom hashevi shavat vayinafash. V'shameru b'nei Yisrael את השבת, לאסור את השבת, לדורותם ברית עולם.
We rise in body or spirit, page 164, for the Amidah.
Adonai שפתי תפתח ופי יגיד תהילתך. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu ve'imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel ve'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol Hagibur ve'Hanora, El Elyon Gomel Chasadim Tovim ve'Konei Hakol ve'Zocher Chazdei Avot ve'Imahot ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם למען שמו באהבה מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן ברוך אתה אדוני מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני מחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם מכלכל חיים בחסד מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים סומך נופלים ורופא חולים ומתיר אסורים ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר מי כמוך בעל גבורות ומדום מלך מלך מימית ומחיה ומצמיח ישוע ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי הכל
170.
אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
We continue silently 172 through 180, or use this as an opportunity to for our own silent prayers and reflections. And when you're finished, you may be seated.
Please feel free to continue your private meditations at your own pace. You can join us on the bottom of page 180 for a final plea for peace and wholeness. עושה שלום במרומיו, או יעשה שלום עלינו, ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו, אמרו אמן. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. ואמרו, Amen. May the one who creates peace in the heavens make peace rule amongst us, all Israel and all the world. And let us say,
Amen. So we've been offering that song, O Say Shalom, since the beginning of the war in Israel and in Gaza, because our ultimate hope is that someday soon we all will know peace and a better tomorrow. But as we have been as well since October 7th, we offer this prayer for our friends, our family, our people in the state of Israel. Pray for the peace of Jerusalem. May those who love you prosper. O Heavenly One, Protector and Redeemer of Israel, bless the state of Israel, which marks the dawning of hope for all who seek peace. Shielded beneath the wings of your love, spread over it the canopy of your peace. Send your light and truth to all who lead and advise, guiding them with your good counsel, and strengthen the hands of those who defend our holy land as well. Establish peace in the land and fullness of joy for all who dwell there. Let us say, Amen. And we are going to now also think of those within our community who are in need of a prayer for healing of the mind, body, and spirit, and those who are in a period of recovery as well, with our prayer for healing, the Mishaberach.
Mishaberach Avotenu Mekor HaBracha Leimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen.
This week, we think of these members of our community and their loved ones who could use a prayer for healing. Gitolea bat Masha Hana, Harav Yudale ben Dina, Myron Yisrael ben Rachel, Daniel Mayer ben Chaya Etia, Baruch ben Sarah, Ikafega bat Gittel, Gila Chaya bat Mordechai Lev, Gila Leah, Tova Hava bat Chaya Rachel, Haim Yosef ben Shena Leah, Shmuel ben Aryeh Lev, Leora bat Oded v'Rachel, Yifat Ayut bat Tova, Sarah Bell, David Dowsett, Angela Eno, good to see you here, Rona Kipper, Fran Lappin, Tanner Light, Megan Migleby, Penny Spector, Adina Stern, and Judy Wolf. If you have a name to add, I'll invite you to share when I look in your direction. Go ahead, Lisa. Danny? Pete? Neil? Sorry, if you raise your hand, that way I can know you. Go ahead. All right. Ellen? And if you are watching on our live stream, I'll invite you to share a name as well.
Mishaberach Imotenu Mekor מקור הברכה לאבותינו. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
Thank you, Cantor. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
See, Lana is not here yet, so I'll give the Devar Torah in her place. Well, I described a few weeks back, we had a Torah portion that described the building of the tabernacle, and I described that as an architect's dream. And then we read all about how it was decorated, and our friend Vivian Dowsett was here that day. I said, Vivian, this is your Torah portion. This is an interior decorator's dream Torah portion. Well, this week we are in Tazria, and it is a dermatologist's dream Torah portion. I am not a dermatologist as, for a lot of reasons, but it's only because I get squeamish, not that I'm terrible at math and science. That's why I'm a rabbi. But when we look at the Torah portion, Tazria, it very often, we think it's talking about leprosy. That's often how Tzarat is translated. Leprosy. And it makes sense, because this is the punishment that was given to Miriam when she gossiped and slandered about Moses' wife. And the rabbi said, well, just as gossip, it makes the person who does it disfigured and ugly, and gossip can spread through a community and be very dangerous. That's the same as leprosy, hence the punishment. However, if I can go a little medical on you, this is not leprosy. Rashi said no, it's not exactly leprosy, because leprosy is a bacterial infection. And what we read about is something that is spiritual, that is something that is about our conduct. It's kind of like, I don't know if any of y'all remember the movie Shallow Hal. It was starring Jason Alexander and also Jack Black and Gwyneth Paltrow. Please watch out for her on the ski slopes if you come here. And what the premise of the movie was that Jack Black was this very shallow guy who only cared about people based off of the way they looked. And then he gets this like spell on him where he's only able to see people based off of how kind they are. So if the person might be what we call very physically attractive by our standards of beauty, but they're a mean, terrible person, he would see them as a hideously ugly person. But if they were a kind person, he would see them as the most beautiful person in the world. And his friend, played by Jason Alexander, thought, this is a horrible curse. He doesn't realize what he's doing. This is a terrible curse. We need to reverse it. And it turned out for him this was the greatest blessing in his life, was to see people based off of who they are on the inside. And with our Torah portion this week, there's this message that ugliness, that meanness, can spread so much through a society. As I mentioned, last week I had the enormous privilege of going with 21 of our congregants to Atlanta and Alabama and learning about the civil rights movement and the Jewish role in it. And this sounds weird to say, but as horrible and as bad as I thought racism and slavery was, it was worse than that, what we learned. It was worse. I thought it was the worst thing imaginable, and it was worse than the worst thing imaginable, some of the things that we read about. And it seemed, though, as if that were tolerated in society because of an epidemic of hatred. And one of the most moving places we went was in Montgomery, Alabama, to the Equal Justice Initiative's National Memorial for Peace and Justice, often known as the National Lynching Memorial, for black victims of lynching between 1877 and 1950. And they had there a monument hanging for every single county where there was a lynching. And then the names of the victims on and the dates of when they were lynched on that county's monument. And so I was going through it and saw over and over again counties in Mississippi, Tennessee, Alabama, Louisiana, Texas, Virginia, Georgia, Arkansas. And I thought, oh my gosh, as much as I love Alabama and Georgia and all these places, I actually really love the South. I couldn't live in a place with this type of history. I just couldn't live here knowing that that happened. And then I saw another memorial, Salt Lake County, Utah. And 2 names were on it for people in Utah who had been lynched. And so I went to their database and I researched that. Said you could click the state you were from and the county, and it would tell you what happened there. And there was an incident in 1883 that happened on State Street and 100 South. You all know where that is. State Street and 100 South. That is the heart of downtown Salt Lake, where a black man was accused of a crime, and a mob of 2,000 people killed him and then dragged him up State Street. That happened in our downtown. Can you fathom, imagine, if today in downtown Salt Lake that happened? What our city's reputation would be worldwide. And here, I didn't even know that had happened. I don't know how many of you knew that story, that had happened. Because it wasn't remarkable in our country. There were over 800 counties in America listed. Over 800, which meant over 10,000 victims. Just process that for a second. This happened in our downtown, and probably none of us, or hardly any of us, knew about that because it wasn't a remarkable event in this country. That a man was murdered by a mob of 2,000 people and had his body dragged down this main street of that town. And that lack of remarkability shows how much that problem, that disease, had spread throughout our country. Now, something I was thinking about, though, while I was there, was I think we often look down on places like Alabama, Georgia, because of that racist history that many of the residents of that state perpetuated and enabled. And Dr. King wrote in his famous letter from the Birmingham jail that the biggest challenge was that of the apathetic white Southerner. And he also mentioned in a letter too about the Jewish community of the South. Not that they were the ones perpetuating these crimes, but that they chose to be apathetic to it. And we all know, by the way, if we think a few years back to COVID, there were people who were walking around who did not have COVID. But we had a family friend who chose not to get vaccinated, and other people who chose not to wear masks. And it wasn't necessarily because they had a fear of the vaccine, or they had this friend of our family said, I just don't care. Why should I? I just don't care. That is those people, according to Dr. King, when we look at the spread of a disease, those are the folks who may not be the ones spreading the disease, but are not helping with the cure or enabling the spread. So like I said, I think that part of the country often gets a bad rap because of its history. However, when we look down on those areas, we often forget that, like that lady who was part of the Little Rock Nine, it was the residents of those states who stood up and changed the world. We heard about how in Montgomery, Alabama, Miss Rosa Parks refused to give up her seat on a bus, and this started over 387 consecutive days of bus boycotts in Montgomery, which lost the bus company $3,000 a day, which today's standards was $39,000 a day, until they created change. And they found a way. They said, if we can't go to work, we will stay home. If we can't go to school, we will stay home. Or we will give each other rides. Or we will walk until we can't walk anymore. It was the residents of those states in the South who walked across the Edmund Pettus Bridge and were beaten bloody and nearly to death. And then came back to that same bridge 3 weeks later with the Alabama state troopers who had beat them standing there and walked across again. And the people who joined them in that journey 3 weeks later were from all over the country. And why? Because they were watching on their television sets on Bloody Sunday and saw what was happening and decided not to be bystanders anymore. They decided as well to be that contagious thing that spreads, but they chose kindness instead. So when we look at this week's Torah portion, on the surface level, it's a portion about skin disease and mildew. But when we dive in deeper, the Torah is giving us a guide there and says, yes, disease and mold can destroy your house. It can wipe out a community through sickness. But it's also telling us essentially we can choose what we want spread in our society. Evil that will lead to downfall of the society and will lead to horrible things. Or goodness. And that is equally contagious. And that will create a better world and a changed world for better tomorrows. Shabbat Shalom. Love to recognize we have, I want to thank as always Salt Lake Police Department being here, keeping us safe. They've been working awfully hard for us the last few days and greatly appreciate them. Shout out to my family back there. Jill's now off of ski season, and so good to see poor Jill. It's been ski season. She's up at Waldorf Astoria, so she's been working until like 9 o'clock at night, pretty much every night for the past several months. Good to see you and my beautiful family here. But also a shout out to Our staff, like you see here as well, Danny Berman, our Executive Director, Lisa Kaufman, our Office and Membership Director, Tamara Kipper, our Bunk Fox Director of the Rafi Schwartz Religious School. Any staff I missed? I always like to acknowledge our hardworking staff. And also give a shout out to our members of the Board of Trustees I see here, Tessa Vashel, Faye Lincoln, and I won't get to you in 1 second, don't worry, I didn't forget you, Dove DeLay, there you are, and Jason Weesey up here. Any other board members other than Melanie I missed? Nope, all right. And I said Dove, but I'll say Dove a second time. Dove DeLay, who we love. I got Dove. And Kelly, Jason, Julia, and Lean, thank you so much for accompanying us this evening. And Miriam, thanks for heckling your Abba and saying loud enough for me to hear, this is boring, I want to go home. I do want to welcome Melanie up here to our Bima to make some announcements on behalf of our Board of Trustees. Melanie is also, in addition to being our board member, alongside David Litvak, is our, oh, sorry if I took your job, Faye. I just figured she might want to tell us some stuff about what's going on this weekend because Melanie is our co-chair of our search committee who's brought Cantor Davis out here and worked so hard.
Welcome, everybody. Shabbat Shalom. Thank you to Rabbi Spector and Cantor Davis for leading us tonight, and welcome to Cantor Davis and to Amanda to Salt Lake City. We're excited to have you here for this visit. Please join us tomorrow morning, if you can, as Josh and Molly Barron become B'nai Mitzvah. Thanks to a generous donor, everyone is invited to join us for Shabbat dinner. Please join us in the social hall immediately following services tonight. There will be more chances to get to know Cantor Davis over this weekend as well. Tomorrow at 1:30, following the Barron B'nai Mitzvah Kiddush, Cantor Davis and Rabbi Spector will lead a Shabbat Mincha service in the main sanctuary, which will include Torah and Haftorah laning by Cantor Davis, and the baby naming for the daughter of Melissa Jensen and Michael Wiedner. Following the Mincha service, please join us for dessert, sponsored by Melissa and Michael, in honor of their daughter, and a town hall for conversation with Cantor Davis. And then on Sunday morning at 9 a.m., Cantor Davis will lead religious school students into Tefillah. Parents and congregants are also welcome. Then at 11 a.m., all are invited to a town hall Q&A with Cantor Davis. Passover is just over 1 week away. On Sunday, April 21st, at the religious school, the religious school will be holding a mock Seder, and families of students are encouraged to join in. That afternoon, kids in Yeladim through 7th grade are invited to KG's Chocolate Seder. I know, she's not in here, but my daughter was noticing that in the booklet and getting excited. Our community Passover Seder is on April 23rd. Seating is limited and registration closes on the 19th, so please make sure to RSVP soon. Our young adults Passover wine tasting and mixology event will be on April 24th, and there will be a Passover lunch and learn on April 26th. Thanks to Ann Bernstein and Rochelle Kaplan, our annual tomato and vegetable plant sale is underway. The seeds are germinating. Order online now for pickup in May. All proceeds benefit the religious school. The deadline to submit greetings and ads for our 50th anniversary membership directory fundraiser is this Monday. Please, please, please consider making a donation or putting an ad into the directory. Celebrate a milestone simcha or send greetings to the community and tell your friends to join you. This is our last major fundraiser for the year. And as always, thank you to our volunteers, donors, members, and guests for your participation and support. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Thanks, Melanie.
Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you to you and the whole committee for your hard work, and to your family who's sacrificed being with you as you worked so hard. Melanie, if I'm not mistaken, a survey will go out probably. On Sunday afternoon, where you can give us your feedback on Cantor Davis. Like I said, we've already decided to go with Amanda, but Cantor Davis, we'd love your feedback.
I won't see the results, so
yeah, he will not
be
see
honest.
the results. So be honest with us. If you have trouble, I know some people had trouble figuring that out last time. You can always email me your feedback if you can't, and I'll forward it to the committee. Thank you. By the way, in case you're like, that trip sounded awesome, I should have gone on it. Yes, you should have. It was awesome. But you get another chance. Next year, I am leading a trip to Poland, Slovakia, and Hungary a year from this May. Sign up. I see my friend Ian Woodbury, who went to Israel with me this past summer and is already signed up to go with me to Europe next May. So come join us for that. We are going to move into the concluding part of our service, page 586 at the bottom of the page. And how about, let's see, any other members of the search committee here this evening? A few folks. I see a few folks. Search committee members, come on up and open the ark for us if you won't mind. Oh, there are quite a bit of you here. Very good. I know we'll see others of you throughout the weekend. Thanks for your hard work, Asher and John, Nancy, and of course Melanie. And I'll invite you to rise in body or spirit. Go ahead.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצא וראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד.
You may be seated. This time we think of those whom death has recently taken from us, and those who have died in this season years past, and those who we draw into our hearts with our own as we remember them. And if you hear the name of a loved one, you're invited to rise upon hearing their name. In the period of Shloshim, 30-day period of mourning, we remember Arthur Dunn, a local Jewish person laid to rest in our cemetery, and also those in Israel who've lost their lives as a result of terror or given their lives in defense of the state of Israel in the past 30 days. And this week, we commemorate the following Yortzite's anniversary of the passing of these loved ones: Barbara June Rosenblatt Burnett, Elmer Bushkoff, Ada Mae Kahn, Leo Cohn, Paula Block Draper, Joseph Dupler, Louis L. Fessinger, Jaime Gus, Nathan Gus, Jason Edgar Leroy Jensen, Josephine Kogan, Naomi Kratzer, Matthew R. Larson, Edward Levy, Howard Barrel Link, Jeannie R. Marks, Sarah Mursky, Dean Pepper, Jaime Rosenthal, Ruth Robinson Saltzman, Abraham Scheinberg, Sophie Scheinberg, Carolina Carla Schwager, David Shereshevsky, Dorothy Sossan, Stella Spitz, Natalie Spitz, Irene Serkey Tannenbaum, Gerald Tashnik, and Sarah S. White. If you have a name to add, I'll invite you to rise and share with our community. Go ahead, Adam. Dominic. And if you're watching on our live stream, you're invited to share a name as well. Zichronam Livracha, may their memories be for a blessing. If you're mourning or it's your tradition to do so, you're invited to rise. Page 598. Yitkada v'kadash shemei rabah.
Amen.
Ve'alma divrach hirtei v'yamlich malchutei. V'chayechon uv'yamechon uv'chayei dechol beit Yisrael. Ba'agala uv'yizman kari ve'imru. Amen. Yehi shmei rabah mevarach le'olam omer maya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yipa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnas. V'yitadar, v'yitaleh, v'yitalal, shmei dekudashah,
Brichu.
ve'ela, minkol birchata, v'shirata, tush bechata, v'ne'emata, da miram be'alma, v'imru, amen.
Amen.
Yehi shlama rabbamin shemaya, v'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, amen. Osei shalom b'mromav, huyasei shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, amen. May the source of peace and peace to all who are mourning comfort the bereaved among us. Again we say, amen.
Amen.
We'll conclude, as again we have been since the war began, with Hatikva, as we stand with Israel, even when sometimes it feels like other people don't in the world. I will invite you to rise and by your spirit. We are, if you wish to do so, we are on page 678.
כל עוד בלבך פנימה, נפש יהודי חומיה, ופאתי מזרח קדימה, עין לציון צופיה. עוד נולדה תקוותנו, התקווה בת שנות 2000, להיות עם חופשי בארצנו, ארץ ציון וירושלים. להיות עם חופשי בארצנו, ארץ ציון וירושלים.
We'll remain standing for Kiddush on page 123. Try and get the saran wrap off. There you go.
ויהי ערב ויבוקר יום השישי, ויחולו השמיים והארץ וכל צבאם, ויחול אלוהים ביום השביעי מלאכתו אשר עשה, וישבת ביום השביעי מכל מלאכתו אשר עשה, ויברך אלוהים את יום השביעי ויקדש אותו, כי היבו שבת מכל מלאכתו אשר ברא אלוהים לעשות צברים.
לחיים.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם בורא פרי הגפן.
אמן.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם אשר קישנו במצוותיו ורצה בנו, ושבת קודשו באהבה וברצון הנחילנו, זיכרון למעשה וראשית, כי הוא יום תחילה למקרא קודש, זכר ליציאת מצרים. כי בנו בחרת ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים, ושבת קודשך באהבה וברצון הנחלתנו. ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת.
Amen. L'chaim. Now, Cantor, something you should know is that we have a guy in our community.
We got a guy.
We got a guy, and he is an absolute
I know a guy.
gem. We got a guy, and his name is Moshe, and he is true to his name, the most humble man who ever existed. And he always gets embarrassed when I say this, but he easily makes the best challah west